in terms of how you can support a friend that may have not received the results they want. If you are a family member, how you can support your matriculant. But also key messages for those that are joining us today and are feeling a bit depressed or sad about the results that they've received. I think it would be so nice for us all to just chat about it in terms of, I know so many of you would have gone to receive your results now and are not certain of how to digest that. And so the confusion comes in as to, okay, this is not what I was planning on getting. How do I now go ahead with this? How do I fulfill that path that I was trying to follow? We're going to try and add Google one more time. If you have any questions, if you have any comments or suggestions for your friends that may have, that may be listening today. So I see Google has joined us now. We're just going to try and add her again. It does take a few tries before we can get Google up. But Google would be the best one to speak to all of you because, like I said, she does run that Matric support group. And she'd be able to give us more information about that and why it is so beneficial to actually, there we go. There we go. Let's accept that. And why it would be so beneficial for those of you to maybe join it. It will still be running for a while now, and Google will give us all of that information. I think after yesterday's live, we received so many questions, and today we are going to try and answer those questions, you know, and how to navigate this difficult time or this stressful time. I don't even think it's difficult. I think it's stressful because you're not sure what you can and cannot feel. I think some of the questions, one of the questions was, how can friends, family, and teachers support matrics who have not got good results? And I know it seems like a very easy answer, but when you are in that situation, you don't know how to offer that support because you can understand the disappointment that that matriculant may be feeling about not achieving the results that they wanted. And so from the South African Depression and Anxiety Group, the most important thing to remember is that you just need to be a good listener. You need to listen and you need to offer no judgment. So listen to them and don't judge. Just listen to what they have to say and acknowledge those feelings and validate those feelings. So if you are feeling, okay, I'm disappointed, I feel like I should have done better, those are normal feelings to feel immediately. But the reality is that you've gotten through so much and you've been able to achieve so much. And that also deserves to be remembered. That, okay, fine, so these are the results I have gotten. It's not the career path I want to, I can't use it for the career path I want to go into. So what do I do with this information? And I think the best thing would be then to find out, okay, where do you go? There are so many people that have had other situations where, you know, they also, and I'm going to share with you some case studies today of people that have actually phoned us back. I mentioned yesterday, SERE has been running for 30 years now, over 30 years. And over the years, we've had so many people phone us back and say, you know what, actually, you were right. There is a plan B. There are things that you can do. And so I'll give you one typical case study, and this is Lebo's story. So Lebo failed 2 subjects in matric, and she felt like a real failure. We're going to try and add Google one more time. And hopefully she can join now. And so instead of giving up, what Lebo did is she rewrote her exams while working part-time. And she later pursued a diploma at the TVET College, where she discovered a passion for business. Today, she runs her own successful digital marketing company and mentors young entrepreneurs. So I think the lesson there is that one setback doesn't define your future. You know, hard work pays off, resilience pays off. And we spoke about resilience yesterday, where it helps to just keep going. and saying to yourself, I'm not going to give up. So Lebo is actually a case study that we received at the call center. When we do these talks, a lot of people listen in and say, you know what, you're absolutely right. Here's my story. And listening to these stories often helps, because you're sitting in that situation thinking, okay, there is no hope. And then you realize, well, actually, there is. I'll give you another case study. So Sipo's story, he barely passed Matric and didn't qualify for his dream course at university. He took a bridging course and later got accepted into a university. And with hard work and focus, he graduated with distinctions in his degree. So even alternative routes like bridging courses can help you achieve your dreams. And what we are trying to show you here is that there isn't just one way to go. You want to go to university, but maybe you'd have to do a bridging course first. Maybe it would have to be at a TVET college. Maybe you would have to work and study at the same time. But when you receive those results and they are not what you expected, it is normal to feel sad. It is very normal to feel disappointed. And as a parent or a family member, the best thing to do is to listen to what they are saying, understand where they are coming from, because chances are you've been through it already and you know that these feelings are normal. But then say to them, okay, now we're going to find out what is our next point of action. What do we do next? And so as a parent, as a family member, as an educator, encourage and motivate them to find another plan, to find another path. And there are so many resources. And even if you are a parent and you're not sure of what those resources are, definitely contact us. There are so many things, so many times that we have resources in your area that we could suggest, people that you could go and speak to, advice that you can get from others. And if you speak to past matriculants, you'll realize that they've been through this, and now 3-4 years later, they can offer you some sort of advice that not everyone may have. Why is it so important to share one's emotions or feelings and speak to a friend or even a counselor during the time if you are feeling down? And so, yes, again, feeling down will be very normal, and we understand that. But the importance of sharing your emotions is that you are allowed to put those feelings and take them out instead of bottling them up. Sharing those emotions means that you are able to say to others, this is what I'm going through. Is it okay to feel like this? And for someone to say to you, yes, that's absolutely normal, already takes some of that pressure and that stress off of you. Where you're like, okay, this is a normal feeling. I don't feel as overwhelmed about the way that I am feeling, about the fact that I am stressed, about the fact that I am disappointed. You are allowed to be disappointed. You've worked so incredibly hard, and it was not what you were hoping for. But remember that matric is really hard. And so getting to that point is something that you should be very, very proud of. And so many others around you would say that to you as well. But bottling up those feelings and emotions, it becomes, there's a lot of pressure that you put on yourself. And eventually when those feelings do come out, it becomes a bit difficult because you explode, and then it's harder to deal with it and to unpack it. As someone who has been in a similar position as that in this conversation today, I think at times more than anything, the difficulty is not the actual result or figuring the next step forward. And so, yes, I would have to agree with you. It's not the result of, okay, so I got these results. What are the next step forward? Sometimes it might be something a little bit more. Maybe you got amazing results, and now, so this message continues. Rather the noise that exists around you. Everyone around you has done well, and people constantly asking the thought of the number of people who supported you, and so people constantly asking, and the thought of the number of people who supported you and you've disappointed. So I'm assuming in this situation, it would be someone that maybe hasn't passed matric. And again, yes, okay, so it's the noise around you, and it's the people saying, oh, well, it's hard when you see everyone else celebrating and you don't feel like celebrating because you have nothing much to celebrate. So that is difficult. But also remember that you may not have something to celebrate right now. But if you keep going and if you stay motivated and you try to carry on, and you owe it to those people that supported you and you think you've disappointed. Because if you give up and not carry on or not find an alternative pathway, yes, then you may disappoint them. But you are not disappointing them yet. It just means that, okay, this is one stepping stone. My path was meant to go this way, but it's actually going to go another way. And so if you don't give up, you are not disappointing them. And so I think, like Senzo says, it's also that noise that exists around you, and sometimes you have to drown out that noise. Sometimes you have to sometimes you have to listen to what you believe. Someone often tells me, I have a friend who often says to me, just because someone says it doesn't make it true. So if someone says something about you, it doesn't make it true. If someone says you are a failure, that doesn't make it true until you actually believe it. And so don't get to that point where you believe that about yourself. Have that self-compassion. Yesterday we discussed self-compassion and the difference between self-compassion and self-criticism. And it's easier for us to criticize ourselves than it is for us to be compassionate. And that word grace is going to come up again. We have to give ourselves that grace. We have to remember what we've been through. And going through 12 years of schooling is not easy. It's incredibly difficult. And so what you need to remember is that I got this far. I will be able to go forward. I will be able to do more. I will be able to achieve. Maybe it's not what I thought I wanted to achieve, but actually, here are the results that I received. And oh, look, I'm better in technical drawing, for example. So maybe that's something I must look at. That's a path I need to go towards. And so don't listen to that noise. Drown that noise out. Listen to the people that are giving you positive information. Listen to the people that are lifting you up instead of putting you down. And so if, for example, you have someone that says, I believe in you. I think you can do this. Those are the people you surround yourself with. Those are the people you stay in that circle. And often what the counselors at the South African Depression and Anxiety Group can do is they can give you those that positive affirmations that you need, or remind you of what you are able to do. Please, can you tell us about SEDEC, how anyone from students or parents can contact a counselor via WhatsApp or phone? Absolutely. So yesterday we discussed what SEDEC was. SEDEC is a mental health advocacy group. And again, just as your physical health is important to you, we want your mental health to be just as important to you, because that's what will keep you going. That's what will keep you resilient. That's what will keep you motivated, is if you look after your mental health. And so if you would like to reach us, our telephone number is 0800 567 567. Counselors are available 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. If you would like to WhatsApp us, our number is 087 163 2030. Sometimes you may not feel like speaking to someone, and it may just be easier to WhatsApp and chat through text, and that's fine too. If you are a family member or an educator that is looking for someone to, or is looking for information, www.sedec.org, that's where you will be able to get a lot of information. What are some of the signs of depression or extreme anxiety learners should look out for? So signs of depression, again, would be an extreme change in their behavior. So if you know your friend is someone that is bubbly and laughing and jovial and always the life of the party, and suddenly this friend prefers to be alone, quite sad all the time, doesn't really want to talk much, doesn't laugh much, doesn't make any jokes anymore, and this is happening for 2 weeks or longer, then they may be going through depression. And so that's how you would identify it. It would be a change in their personality. Are they sleeping more than usual or less than usual? Are they eating more than usual or less than usual? Are they talking about things that may be stressing them out? They may say things like, oh, I'm so useless. I should have done this. I should have done that. And if you are a friend that has someone saying this to themselves, offer them that opposite, where you say, well, you think you could have done better. I think you did the best you can. Your future is so bright. Remind them of what their future could be or what their future looks like. It's so important to not give up. And when you are disappointed by those results, and when you are demotivated by those results, it's difficult not to give up. And so as a friend or a family member, you can be that support system that says, I'm not going to allow you to give up. You did this for 12 years, you got to this point, and now we're going to carry on. And so this in itself is such an achievement, and reminding them that this is such an achievement is absolutely important. How can learners shift their focus from results to self-care and future planning? So I think it sounds easier said than done, where you say, well, now just stop thinking about your results and now plan for the future. Those results will affect your self-confidence. It's normal. Those results will make you feel a certain way about yourself. Those results will say to you, oh, you thought you did well, but actually you didn't do that great. And so saying to someone, well, just forget about your results and now think about your future is not as easy to do. And so what I suggest is that, yes, your results are important. They are a stepping stone, and important in that there are certain subjects that you would have done really well in. Focus on those because you did really well in them, because that's probably what you actually enjoy doing. And so focus on those and see that maybe there's another part. Speak to people. Say to them, look, I wanted to do this, but this is what I'm actually good in. Or these are the subjects I was actually good in. What do you think my options are? People might suggest things you didn't even think about. There may be bridging courses that you need to do. You may need to rewrite a few subjects, and you could do that while you are working so that you are not sitting at home waiting to rewrite these subjects. And so keep yourself busy, get into a routine again, and say, well, make a new goal for yourself. Set a new goal for yourself. Well, I am going to do this. I will now. My path is just changed into another direction, but I am going to achieve that and I will succeed. What are some of the other questions that we have gotten? What would you advise matrics who are feeling hopeless at this time, how they can deal with their feelings and support themselves during this time? So for those matrics that are feeling hopeless, again, it's okay to feel sad and disappointed, but remember that you are not hopeless. There is hope, and there are so many things that you could do. And when you are feeling this way, it might be hard to share those feelings or deal with those feelings. And often we tend to sit with those feelings. And so whether it is disappointment or even resentment at yourself for not working hard enough, oh, I could have done better. In terms of self-care and supporting yourself, because you may feel like you don't want to be judged, you don't want to speak to others about it. In terms of self-care, do things like practicing those positive self-affirmations. Do things like reminding yourself about what you are really good at. So number one is remind yourself, I did 12 years of this. I wrote that final exam. And so I am already very proud of that. And if I could do that, I can do harder things and use it. They have that saying that failure is a stepping stone to success. It's just one little thing that you have to get through to achieve that success. And so success is not defined by your results. Success is defined by how resilient you actually are, how much of a go-getter you actually are to say, right, okay, well, one setback, I can do this. What are my options? And look through those options and say, okay, fine, I can, this is what's going to work for me. I can do this. It's very hard to try and do this by yourself. And often family members or teachers will not be sure of whether they can assist or can't assist, or if you want their help or you don't want their help. Take the support. Take any help that you can get. Listen to what they have to say. And you don't always have to do what they tell you, but listen, because in that advice may be something that would actually work for you as a person. What works for me may not work for somebody else, but it may work for the third person. And so listen and say, okay, well, I'll give that a thought. Maybe that'll work for me. But look at those subjects that you have done really well at. Or if you have not done well in matric at all, consider rewriting. There are so many different courses that the Department of Basic Education is also offering. And so there's so many things that you can think about. There is a second chance program that you can look up. Look at that. There's so many things that people have offered or organizations have put forward to say, okay, fine. Because in this moment, you may feel like, okay, I'm the only one. I'm the only one that has done this poorly. And now what do I do? But there are so many people that may have not done as well as they expected to. And so those different programs are designed and developed for people like you. But the important thing is to make sure that you look after your mental health. So when you find out, or when you find that you are struggling and you just don't know how to cope, reach out for help. There is nothing wrong in saying, I would like some help. Or I know I'm feeling a certain way, but I don't know what that feeling is. Um, I'm really sad and I'm really disappointed, but I don't know how to deal with it. Sometimes saying, I don't know how, allows the other person to realize that, okay, you need help with this. And so if you have questions, I mean, this live will be on our Instagram. Put your questions, put your questions down in the uh, put it in a direct message. You could put a message on our email or our website. You will find our emails there, and we can assist you. We can give you that support. The the helplines are available 24/7 because some people want to speak at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and some people want to speak at 3 o'clock in the morning. And so, whatever it is, whenever you need that help, and if you feel like you do not have that support, that is what the South African Depression and Anxiety Group is there for. And so, unfortunately, Google could not join us, but we will do another live. The Matric support group does still happen every single week. And I think now more than ever, join us. It's anonymous. You don't have to switch your camera on, but you do have to be there to join the conversation and be a part of it. And, you know, what you don't realize is that somebody else may be feeling something that you could offer support for, where you could say, oh, I felt that way before, and this is what I did to help myself. So you are welcome to join that support group. All of the details are always on our Instagram, and it happens every single week. And we invite you to join that support group. But what we will do is that we will get Gugu on another Instagram live where she can discuss what they do and why it's so important and how it's actually helped a lot of our matriculants this year. We once had a group of matriculants who were sitting in a classroom together and joined the support group just because they realized they needed that support. To all of you that have joined us, thank you for joining us. I hope your results were what you had hoped for. And if it wasn't, that's also okay, because there's always hope. And you need to remember that you have, whatever you have done in this last 12 years was absolutely phenomenal and amazing. And you are enough. I think that's the most important message that we want to give you, is that you are enough to make this next part of your life better and brighter. If you would like to speak to a counselor, 0800 567 567, or you are welcome to pop any messages in any of our inboxes, and we'll be able to help you with that. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you all soon.